Today is June 12th, 2015. This is Tina Poe. Can you tell me about the first time you had to report Paradigm to Housing and Ogden City Code Enforcement?
October. I moved in August 31st, 2014. October came around, it got cold. I had no heat, is what I discovered. I had texted Bill, I had called Paradigm, and had explained to them there's no heat in here, that I was heating by my oven. And Bill said, we'll get someone out there to look at it. A week later, I had not heard from Paradigm. I had not seen anyone. So I called Bill directly and I said, Bill, I have no heat. It's really cold and I need heat. I have 3 major surgical areas and I need heat. Once again, he told me we'll get someone out there tomorrow. No one showed up. So at this point, Tammy, my neighbor at apartment 18, told me I should call the health department and the Ogden City Code Enforcement. I called the health department. She came out. She discovered I had no heat. She also told me I need to report it to the city, Ogden City, to Robert, to the code enforcement officer. And so I got on the phone, made the calls, and within a week, Randy Brown came out and got my heat up and working. And that's when he had told Bill my wiring was bad. And that's why my breakers kept breaking off, is because the wiring is not up to code. Bill told him to not worry about that at this point, just get her heat. 2 weeks later, Bill showed up at the door unannounced. And me and Dylan were home. And this was mid-afternoon. I want to say about mid-November, early part of November. Bill sat on my couch. And Dylan was sitting in my chair, and I was sitting where I'm sitting, close to the computer. And Bill was yelling at me because I had called Housing Authority. I had called the Ogden City Code Enforcement, Robert, and I had talked to the health department in regards to my heat, and my breakers kept tripping off. And he was yelling and threatening me, telling me if I ever do that again, that he was going to fire Dylan. He was screaming at Dylan because Dylan had also called the health department and code enforcement, Robert, and spoke with Robert and took Robert around the building.
And that's Robert Porter?
Yes, it is. He told me I was working against him, that I'm getting him in trouble with the city, and if that's the case, then he is not going to allow me to stay living here and would not allow Dylan to continue his job. And so therefore I started crying and I said, well then I'm screwed and you're not going to fix my apartment. And he said, at this point, no, I'm not. You made your bed, you can lay in it because you're causing me trouble. I just got fined for that. And I said, well, Bill, it seemed to be the only way I could get heat in here. I had no heat. And my breakers are still tripping off. And he said, I'll deal with that later. I'm dealing with you now over calling Robert. You ever do that to me again, you will not live here, and Dylan will not have his job.
Thank you so much.